Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, I know it's Dan 2x15 on Xbox Live. Welcome to another WWE predictions, and it's now time for the biggest party of the summer. It is now time for SummerSlam. That's right, SummerSlam is gonna be big here big in Nashville, Tennessee. And I can't wait for it, and therefore, because I can't wait, I'm going to go straight into the predictions. But before I go straight in there, let me explain on how I make my predictions. For every time I make my predictions videos, if you are just joining me on my YouTube channel, and this is the first time I've seen one of these type of videos, and you're a wrestling fan, especially a WWE fan, the way I do it when I make my predictions, as I have two different outcomes. It's basically who I think and who I want to win the matches. Who I think is basically who WWE have booked to win, and who I want is my own personal opinion. Now that being said, we're going to go on to the first matchup. And we're on to the first match, as it's Dominic and Rey Mysterio, the Mysterios, versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest, with Rhea Ripley at ringside. It's gonna be the Mysterios versus Judgment Day in a no disqualification match. Now, is this a tornado tag team match? Or is this generally a no DQ match? Which means, because of that reason, that Rey Mysterio can't do that Eddie Guerrero tricks, so he can use the chair himself, and so can Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They can use any weapon they like, and hell, they could probably stay in there for the 5 count, because let's face it, because it's no DQ, if it's a normal tag team matchup, then they could stay in the ring as long as they want. They usually get a 5 count, so I'm presuming it's going to be Tornado Tag Team rules. But I am not too sure. Well, I'll have to wait and see come SummerSlam. But this first match is a very interesting one. Who do I think is going to win? The Mysterios. Who do I want to win? The Judgment Day. And you know what else I want to see happen? I want Dominic to turn on his father and become the 3rd member of the Judgment Day. Probably not gonna happen, as we're probably, and to be honest, we might see the Judgment Day dispatch the Mysterios, but hey, I think that the Mysterios will outsmart the Judgment Day here and win the matchup. Even though I want the Judgment Day to win, I just don't think it'll be the case. So, even though they've been going back and forth where they've had Finn Balor had a victory over Rey Mysterio, we've had Damian Priest go 1-on-1 with Dominic and Rey. It's just been an even Stevens of a rivalry so far. This time round it'll be the Mysterios going over with the victory. But like I said, I want the Judgment Day to win and have Dominic turn heel and join the Judgment Day. But with that being said, we'll find out SummerSlam who's going to win between these two teams. But I'm going to have to then go on to the next match. Well, welcome back into the next matchup, and it's Logan Paul versus The Miz. A matchup. Now, I know Logan Paul has signed with WWE, and he's now officially a WWE superstar, and he's going to have a lot more matches than just this one at SummerSlam and the one at WrestleMania. So, does that mean I'm still going to like Logan Paul? No, I hadn't liked Logan Paul. I've never watched any of his videos. I've not watched any of his brother videos. I do not watch any of his boxing matches. I cannot stand the guy. So, this is a no-brainer. As I didn't want Logan Paul and The Miz to win at WrestleMania. They won. I do not want Logan Paul to win against here, and I want The Miz. But Logan Paul's going to win. So yeah, who do I think is going to win? Logan Paul. Who do I want to win? The Miz. But he doesn't have the balls. In fact, he has tiny balls. So therefore, because Logan Paul has bigger balls, he is going to win. Just how it is, I'm afraid. Just how it is. Or you could say, that's just how it is. Next match. And the next match, the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair is going to go one-on-one with Becky Lynch for the Raw, and she will defend her title. That's right, it's going to be Bianca Belair, the greatest, the baddest, the fastest, the strongest, the sexy, and according to Montez Ford, the sexiest woman in WWE. The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defending her title against Becky Lynch for the 500th time. Well, let's face it here. Last time she went up against Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, she wasn't ready for her, and she lost to Becky Lynch in like 28 seconds. But she's now ready for it, and she is gonna whoop that freaking the man all over the place. And I'm back again with Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. As I was saying, that the man is probably gonna get her ass kicked. This new version, Big Time Backs, I do not like. Personally, I think she could still be a heel, but wearing all that stupid get-up just doesn't make any sense to me. But hey ho, she can dress how she wants. As long as she's a badass in the ring, I don't care. She may be a badass, but she's not gonna win the Raw Women's Championship. As we're gonna see, as me personally, who do I think is gonna win this matchup? The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Who do I want to win this matchup? The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. It's Bianca Belair all the way, and she's going to retain. On to the next match. McAfee is going to be having his third matchup in WWE. His first two matchups, technically speaking, he had at WrestleMania Night 2. And the first matchup at WrestleMania Night 2, he beat Mr. Money in the Bank, A-Town Down, Austin Theory. Then he had a match against Mr. McMahon, in which was, by God, it's probably most likely Mr. McMahon's last match, and lost to Mr. McMahon in, I think, what was a no DQ matchup, I don't know, but Mr. McMahon took the last ever stunner ever, which was hilarious as anything at WrestleMania, and so did Pat McAfee. But I thought that was going to see the last of Pat McAfee matches, but by God, I was wrong, because he's going to be facing Happy Corbin. And you know what? I like this match. This is going to be exciting to see. Everyone's going to be behind Pat McAfee because they want to see people beat up Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin, whatever you want to call him, bum-ass Corbin, any day of the week, especially when it's Pat McAfee. Now, I like Baron Corbin, I like Happy Corbin as a heel, and the way he wrestles is just, he's got a sweet-ass finisher nobody's kicked out of except from one person, that'll be Drew McIntyre, who kicked out of it at WrestleMania. So, with that being said, I don't care who wins this match. Personally, here's the thing, I'm gonna have to say, I love Pat McAfee, and I'd love to see him kick Happy Corbin's ass. But who do I think is going to win? Pat McAfee. But because I like Happy Corbin more than I did Austin Theory, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the wind opening my door. I want Happy Corbin to win because I can't choose between them both. I like Happy Corbin and I like Pat McAfee. This would be a good matchup. Even if Happy Corbin wins it, I would be happy because I like the way I like Happy Corbin's work. You know, former United States champion, you know, former King of the Ring winner. You know, he needs to be in that main event scene. I think he's also a former NXT champion. You may want to correct me there, but hey. I can see him going the big time. But speaking of big time, we're gonna go on to the next match. Well, it took me a while to get here, but finally giving you this. It is the Usos! The SmackDown, that's right, the Bloodline. We are we the ones, baby, we the ones. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions as they defend their titles against the Street Profits, and when the Street Profits are up, they want the smoke. And in your top left of your screen, next to Jey Uso, you can see your special guest referee. Here's Jeff Jarrett. That's right, that's Jeff Jarrett. That's GEFFJRRETT Jeff Jarrett. Oh man, this is gonna be good because the way SmackDown ended not necessarily ended, but when that segment between the Usos and the Street Profits, with Jey Uso accidentally giving Jeff Jarrett a super kick, you gotta wonder, is the Bloodline gonna be in losing their tag team titles? No sorry Bob. No sorry Bob. No way Jose. No way is he gonna. I mean no way. So who do I think is going to win this? The Usos! And you know, man, let me explain why. I think that Jeff Jarrett is gonna screw the Street Profits over. Just my opinion. Who do I want to win? I want the Street Profits all day long. Cause when the Street Profits are off, then they get the smoke and they will get the tag team titles again. That's just my opinion though. I really am hoping for it, and I'd love to see them as the champions again, but it's not gonna happen. Because they are so far the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions. There's no way that all three members of the Bloodline are gonna lose their titles. Yeah, maybe they might lose it at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or Survivor Series, but not tonight. Because as of recording of this video, SummerSlam is tonight, and I can't wait to see it tomorrow. So on to the next match. Is Mr. Money in the Bank Theory goes one-on-one with the United States Champion Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Now, I have a theory, no pun intended, about this matchup. I personally think if Theory is smart, he will just walk away from this matchup because if he should save his energy. If he wants to become the youngest Universal, the WWE Universal Undisputed Heavyweight Champion, and actually have a standing chance of defeating either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, even at a 10%, he needs to give up this opportunity. Yeah, as much as it would be so cocky of him to say, look, I'm not only the United States Champion, but I'm also the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion too. Do yourself a favor theory. You've been beaten up by Brock, by Bobby, by Drew McIntyre, the Usos, by everyone as of late. Do you really want to get beaten up badly by Bobby Lashley in a match that you lost? Think about it. You lost that United States Championship to Bobby Lashley in a matter of minutes. Admittedly, he had some offense, but by the end of the night, he was out of it. So, this begs the question: will he cash in Money in the Bank like a fool at like 50%? No. The reason I say that is because he will wait for Clash at the Castle to do that. If he loses here tonight for the United States Championship, if I was Theory, I would go, you know what? I have this. I know I could go in there right now and beat you, Bobby Lashley, and become the first ever two-time youngest United States champion. But with this Money in the Bank briefcase, of course, imagine it's the Money Bank briefcase, of course, I don't need the United States Championship. But I have to carry 3 championships when I go to the airport. I will have to wait twice as long at the airport where these stupid people will be waiting for me to get a selfie or an autograph. No, I don't want that. I want to only wait for 2 championships. And Bobby Lashley, trust me, after I win and cash in the Money in the Bank contract, we can do this properly. We can do champion versus champion, winner takes all matchup. That is a much better money making matchup. But then I can become the United States undisputed heavyweight champion. So you keep that title for now, Bobby. Well, I'm gonna go in tonight and watch and wait for the opportunity in that last man standing matchup. Then he can walk away. That's what I would do. See, that's how I think he should do it. Is still be greedy enough to want the championship, but not at SummerSlam. So, but if it goes ahead and he acts like an idiot and he still goes ahead and accepts the matchup, then there's no doubt about it. The winner, Bobby Lashley. End of discussion. So, with that being said, who do I think is going to win? Bobby Lashley. Who do I want to win? Bobby Lashley. There's no doubt about it. Lashley all the way here. I just made it a much better story to what's really gonna happen. But hey, we'll see. He might be a miracle kid and win the championship after a long grueling matchup against Bobby Lashley, and then later on to cash in against either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns after a long grueling last man standing match. I personally would hope that this match is the first match on the card. That way it gives Theory a chance to recuperate, whether he wins or loses. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go on to the next match. And the next match is a pretty easy matchup. SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan defends her SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey. She's cashed at Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan became the Miss Money in the Bank. Later on the night, Ronda Rousey defended her SmackDown Women's Championship against Natalya. Natalya, managed to injure Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey fought through that injury to defeat Natalya. But then Liv Morgan, she came down, cashed in the Money in the Bank, but got caught with an ankle lock. And by God, it was at that moment where I thought, yeah, Ronda's retaining. No, she persevered, attacked the injured leg, had the magic roll up, 1, 2, 3, became the SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, Ronda Rousey is healed up. And with the fact that Liv Morgan really looked like she was going to tap out to the ankle lock, means that she's going to tap out to the ankle lock. And we're going to have a new SmackDown Women's Champion in Ronda Rousey. There's no doubt about it. I hate to say it. So with that being said, who do I think is going to win? Ronda Rousey. and any means necessary, Liv. I want you to win. I really do. I want you to Germany. She can whack her with the chair. Get counted out, damn it. Just don't get that built up. You know, I'm a really good babyface. I'm gonna win this. Try and win this against someone that can smash you to pieces and Ronda Rousey and make you tap out. Come on, think outside the box, Liv. I know you're a babyface, but do something to try and retain your championship at any means necessary. So, yeah. I would gladly watch her get a count-out victory over Ronda Rousey. I'll gladly see her get herself disqualified to retain that championship. I just don't want to see Ronda regain that championship at SummerSlam. But she will do. And speaking of champions, we're gonna go on to the main event, folks. That match is next for me to make my... And we're back for the last match to predict. And it's, speaking of the word last, because it's a last man standing match. Now I'm gonna make 4 predictions here. Who do I think? Who do I want? And the 2 scenarios of the Money in the Bank cash-in. In fact, maybe 5, depending on how much longer I can have this going. Okay, first prediction. This is going to be, first of all, this is going to be one hell of a matchup, and it's going to probably go a long time. There'll still be Roman Reigns being taken to Suplex City. He'll be shoulder thrust in the corner. Roman Reigns will hit a Superman punch after Superman punch. There'll be table spots. There'll be chairs. There might be even steel steps there. There'll be anything that, I mean, we know that Roman Reigns will do anything he takes to win a last man standing match. In fact, the last man standing match that Roman Reigns was in, there was a crooked referee there, as it was a last man standing match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. But we don't talk about that. And it was for the Universal Championship as well. So Roman Reigns has won a last man standing match before. See, as we all know, as Paul Heyman has said, Brock Lesnar has ruined these big time matches. He when The Undertaker was 21-0 at WrestleMania and went on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. Who ruined that? Brock Lesnar. When he first won his first ever WWE Championship, who was the man that ruined The Rock and beat him for that championship? Brock Lesnar. When John Cena thought he was untouchable as WWE Champion, who took John Cena to Suplex City for the very first time, the very first man to enter Suplex City? It was no other than John Cena, because John Cena got took to Suplex City by Brock Lesnar. And who's the man that's gonna beat the living piss out of Roman Reigns until he can't reach the count of 10? By the way, that's the proper rules of a last man standing match. Paul, you've been in the business how long? And you effed up on SmackDown and you said 10 seconds instead of a 10 count. I forgive you for that. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here is your winner, and new undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. And that's not just a prediction, that's a spoiler. However, that's just who I want to win. I think it'll be Roman Reigns. There's no doubt about it. Roman Reigns all day long. So, now here come Money in the Bank predictions. Now, as I said, when I predicted my predictions for the Bobby Lashley versus Fury match, realistically, Fury shouldn't just forget about the United States Championship and focus on the winner of this match. So that he's 100% and they're not. Now, regardless of that being said, there's only two ways that this can go. Either he will be one lucky son of a bitch that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns has beaten the living out of each other so much that neither of them can stand. And it's a draw. And they've beaten the living shit out of each other. Neither of them can stand, none of them can get up. And that's when you hear A-Town down. And that's when he cashes in, becomes the WWE Champion. And hell, just to be safe, pin Brock Lesnar. Don't pin Roman Reigns, because that'll just piss off Roman Reigns later on down the line. Yeah, it will piss off Brock Lesnar. But hey ho, you can beat the shit out of him some other time down the line. He won't forget about it. No, I like I said, I don't know. You don't want to piss off either of them, but if I had to choose, I'd rather piss off Brock Lesnar than Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns has backup, Brock Lesnar doesn't. But there's another thing that could possibly happen. Even going through hell, even if Roman Reigns finally gets up to his feet and he's standing there with his hand and he hears A-Town down, trust me, he will get his ass kicked. He will go to the referee, cash in, the referee, the door, it will ring. But the thing is, if it's on somewhere down a ramp or something, you have to get Roman in. You can't pin him on the outside, because for my acknowledgement, you have to have the champion in the ring. So that's the only downside, is that if he's stupid enough and cashes in on the rap way when they've been beating the shit out of each other, will he be allowed to turn it into a false count anywhere? Like, what happens if he cashes in halfway through the match? Does it become a triple threat, last man standing match, and he has to incapacitate both of them? That is what I'm worried about, is that he's going to be stupid and cash in and pin, but the referee's gotta get him in the ring. And that's when it fails. Or he doesn't cash in at all. Roman beats Brock, goes to face Drew McIntyre, McIntyre wins. That's when the cash in happens at Clash of the Castle. Brock Lesnar wins, goes to Clash of the Castle, faces Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wins. Personally, that'll be the most funniest thing ever if Brock Lesnar was to F5 Drew McIntyre after the match. Because Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar, he'll still get cheered for it, oddly enough. Roman Reigns not so much. If he spears the living shit out of Drew McIntyre after the match, that's causing him to lose the championship that way. So that's the only two predictions, many predictions for SummerSlam. Will there be a cash-in? Me personally, ideally I don't think there will be. And even if there is, it'll be a fail. But let me know what you think. Do you think it'll be a successful cash-in? Do you think he'll play it smart? Do you think that theory? I personally think he won't, and he'll be a big, massive fail. But that's just a theory. That's a Austin theory. Okay, I'll give up. Anyway, until next time for WWE SummerSlam review. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.